Hey guys, welcome back to my little YouTube channel here that I like to do. Pretty soon I'm actually going to be getting ready to start up a channel dedicated just to flight, but that's going to be in another video. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about quadcopters, multirotors, drones, if you will, just because there's been so many misconceptions about what they can and cannot do, as far as people worried about invasion of privacy and all this stuff. And it's so ridiculous. It's beyond me, because I am an experienced multirotor pilot. I have several, I couldn't even tell you how many hours, flight hours that I have, mainly because I don't log it. But it's just ridiculous having the knowledge, and more people need to have that knowledge. And that's one of the reasons why I'm supporting my flight test, jacket here, is because I'm a big supporter of theirs and what they do in this hobby, and raising awareness and getting people into the hobby, and because it is such an amazing hobby. It's a lot of fun. There's so many fun people that you get to meet doing this, and so that's kind of why I wanted to make this video tonight, and just to kind of address some stuff that a lot of people have the misconceptions with. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to introduce you to this is my first multirotor. This is the Blade 350QX, which if you've gone onto my YouTube channel at all, you know that I do a lot of stuff with the 350QX, as far as different tutorials, how to do things, set up your FPV, set up your gimbal, doing firmware updates, aftermarket parts, which I do have some stuff that is in the mail. I should be getting it next week, so like the first weekend in March. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be really cool. But I just want to go. This is a basic. I'm going to be posting on Facebook and tagging a bunch of people in. I wanted to go through the basics of what this machine does. And I call it a machine because it's not a toy. There's a lot of sophisticated parts that make this up. This can hurt you. I'm not going to lie. I run extreme production carbon fiber blades on this thing. These are sharp. Spinning at full RPM. They might not dislocate a digit on an adult, but if a kid were to stick his finger in one of those, lop it right off. The sophistication of the parts that are in here, it's not a toy. It really is not a toy. This is to be flown by somebody who's competent or under adult supervision. Like what's really cool with, step out very big like this, with these newer remotes. This is the DX8. There is a little port right there. You can hook two of these together. So, say I take my DX5 and my DX8 and I hook them together with this cable. It's called buddy boxing, and I could let my son fly this with this, and at any time I can take over with this. So that's one way to get people into to get people experienced with flight. It also shows you the level of control that we have over these as experienced pilots. But let me get a little bit into this, the 350QX, and what it can and cannot do. This thing is equipped with GPS antenna on it. So, and it sits right here, right under that black dot, is where the GPS antenna is. And what it does when you fire this thing up, it goes into GPS acquisition mode. So let me go ahead and turn my transmitter on and select the right model, because it helps to be in the right mode. Okay. So when I power this thing on, If I have a battery in it, that usually helps. Battery, battery, battery. How about we do this? We grab this brand new 3000 LiPo. Slide it on in and hook it on up. Okay. So when I power this up, cycles through, does pre-check, and now it's going to go into GPS acquisition mode. And you see the light change. I just changed modes on the transmitter here. Green blinking light means it's searching for GPS. When that goes solid and it beeps, GPS is acquired with more than, I believe it's more than 6 satellites in acquisition. Now what this means, or what this doesn't mean, rather, this does not mean that I can get on my tablet or my phone and program it to fly waypoints and fly autonomously. That's a drone. This is a quadcopter. Now you see I just went solid green. That means I have more than 6 satellites locked into this. What it does mean, as far as the GPS, it means that when I arm the motors, spin them up, it logs that position as home position. So if I get in trouble, if I get way out in the distance to where I can't see this thing, and it's pretty easy to do seeing as how it's white, I can hit panic mode right there, and this thing is going to fly itself back to the home position and land. That's all it is. Now, a lot of people say, wasn't this autonomous flight? Yes and no. Yes, because it is flying without my direct user input. No, because it's not user programmable. It is pre-programmed, as in when it arms up at that spot, that is where it says this is where home is, and it will return to that spot when return to home is engaged, just like that right there. One thing that I want to get into is the gimbal on this thing. This is the gimbal, and I use a GoPro Hero 3 to do my aerial photography or videography. And that thing just slips right under there. And so when I'm flying, and let me plug that gimbal in, when I'm flying, that image is stabilized, which is really nice. And because that image is stabilized, I can get some really cool video. And in order to tell what really cool video that I'm getting as I'm flying, I plug this here cable in to the GoPro. Just like that. Plug that sucker in right there. And that cable goes up to that video transmitter, which comes out that antenna. That video transmitter sends me the images into this headset. There's little goggles or little video screens in there, so that the image that's broadcast by that GoPro camera comes directly in here. And I put these on, and I look kind of like a dork. I look really like a dork. But I can fly that thing as if I'm sitting in it. Now what you don't get is super high resolution, because that's an analog signal being broadcast over a 5.8 gigahertz frequency. Basically it's a TV signal. It's not a digital TV signal. So what you get is grainy picture. You can make out most things. You know, like if you're flying around, you can see trees and you can see birds and you can see all sorts of stuff. What you can't see, really, unless you're super close, is faces. You know, if I'm 50 feet out and I turn around and I'm looking back at myself flying, I can see myself and I can see the stupid goggles on my face, but I can't really make out any other detail than that. It's not something that I'm going to be spying on my neighbor with. And that's people's biggest fear and misconceptions. Oh, you're going to be spying on your neighbor. You're going to go fly at night and you're going to go spy on your neighbor getting out of the shower. And, you know, check out your neighbor getting naked and blah, 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 or, you know, what. No. The GoPro has such a wide angle lens on it because they want you to see everything. You can't see details with it. I could be sitting, I could park this thing 10 feet in front of my truck, looking at the front of my truck. I couldn't make out the numbers on my license plate. I just couldn't do it. So that's really, you know, people think that these things are so bad, and you know what, even if I could see the detail, they're as close as I'd have to get in order to see everything and record it, even though that records in 2.7K, it's such a wide angle lens, so as close as I'd have to get, you'd hear it. And to prove that, right now, let me move some stuff real quick here. Table set up here. Quadcopter on the table. We're going to tuck these wires back in here because, well, I really don't want them to get cut off. That button right there is my throttle cut button. I'm going to keep my finger on that just in case. And we're going to power this thing up. Now, even with the carbon fiber blades on it, which reduce the noise level quite a bit, it's still fairly loud. But to show you just how loud this thing is going to get, let's power it up. I don't know if you can hear me or not, because that's kind of loud. If you were a teenage girl that just got out of the shower and you had one of these parked outside your window, I'm pretty sure that you can hear it. Actually, in fact, I'm really sure you could hear that. If you just gotten out of the shower and were toweling off, and you hear that thing outside your window, you're gonna know it. Anyway, thanks for joining me on my little rant on my YouTube channel here. We're going to see you again soon. I've got some products coming in that I think you're really going to like for the 350QX. And you know what? If you get a chance, go stop by Flight Test. These guys have a lot of cool stuff in their store. You know, they've helped me get back into flying, and I'd really like to support the hell out of them. Anyway, thanks again. Click like, click subscribe. I don't know where the hell they are. They might be over here somewhere. The hell, they might be over there. I don't know. But thanks for joining me on my little rant. Have a good night.